Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Two Hits Reading Comics. This week's episode 197, and we're going to talk about Undiscovered Country. As always, tell your friends, your family, anyone who wants to listen to two idiots talk about comics. You can check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and you can listen to us anywhere you get your podcast. And as always, let's get into it.
And welcome to the Best Damn Book Club on the internet. My name's Ryan Talmadge. That's Davis Crocker. This is Two Hits Reading Comics. And today, Davis, what do we read?
Read Undiscovered Country.
You can go ahead and credit people.
Yeah, I wasn't fully prepared.
Damn.
You caught me off guard, man.
Stay prepared.
You got me. Shit, man, I ain't stayed prepared in years.
Stay prepared. You won't have to get repaired. Or no, prepared. Fuck.
Alrighty. Undiscovered Country, we've written by Scott Snyder and Charles Soule. Layouts by Giuseppe Camuncoli, which we've had many a times.
What's that?
I don't know if we've ever had him as a layouts guy.
I don't know what a layouts person
I would
does.
imagine it's how you put the comic together.
I would imagine.
Finishes by Daniel Orlandini, issues 1 through 4, and Leonardo Marcello Grassi, issues 4 through 6, colored by Matt Wilson, lettered by Crank with an apostrophe, and edited by Will Dennis.
Who's on pencils?
There's no pencils.
Huh.
That's what's weird is this is an Image
Soul's
comic.
a writer.
This is an Image comic.
Yeah.
And normally
Giuseppe does pencils usually, doesn't
Yeah, but he's...
I wonder
this is the first time I've ever seen a layouts and a finishes.
Yeah.
Because we've got a colored and a lettered, but I've never seen a finishes and a layouts guy before.
Me neither. It's kind of weird.
I wonder if... I would assume Giuseppe is the penciler.
I would imagine.
Because he's been the penciler in every
other
other time we've seen him.
And I just wonder what did he do extra that
the layouts gets credited. Yeah. So what is...
Only thing I can think of, because you have a finisher, maybe he did like the big, like the important stuff, and then somebody came out and did like the backgrounds after.
This is saying it's the panel layouts, and
I figured that was all just.
It's just kind of all over the place. It's just pretty much just like, oh yeah, it's the guy that puts the pages together.
Sounded like, but
at the same time, that
sounds like the artist does that anyways.
That doesn't seem like a title that needs to be called out.
I don't know. It's weird.
And then finishes, I would assume is the touch-up guy or
like that.
Did this edit and
a little bit of inking.
To me, there's a huge edit problem in this comic.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I read it on the Kindle app. Most of the time, I was in like where you double click and it just
one panel at a time. Yeah, sometimes I had to do that. But so I guess we're gonna get into the comic. The major, the guy that I hope y'all have read. The guy the major that double crosses everybody. Yeah. His sister. He says, "I want her to come with me."
Yeah.
Well, they leave the demon's ship.
Yeah.
And they're in their car, right?
Yeah.
Well, as they're leaving, it jumps back to the other four.
Conversation.
The two pretty much ambassadors, the journalist, and then the crazy American history lover. She's still tied up. The sister is still tied up. And in it. And she is in 1, 2. So
I did not
page
catch
1.
that.
There's one page where they're
Are you
literally
sure
in
it's
the
not
car.
the reporter?
Oh no! There's
they
5
look
people.
similar.
Oh no, it's her with the blue hair. I'm about to show it to you.
Oh my god!
You have the page to the left has the brother and sister leaving in the car.
Yeah.
You come to the right and they're...
It's not a flashback?
It can be because they're breaking out.
Oh, that's insane.
And
How did I not catch that?
2, 3, 4, 5 panels, 5 or 6 panels, she is shown in it. Starting with the left panel, top left panel, top right.
Oh, sure enough, she is.
Yeah, and that's them leaving. And then if you thumb through them, she just keeps showing up. She never says anything, but they definitely drew her in.
Yeah, and there's a reporter lady. Damn.
Yeah.
That's a kind of a big mistake.
Yeah, it's huge. It's a huge continuity fuck up.
Huh.
But she never speaks, and so what I assume happened is whoever drew these pages, they gave them the shit to do, and so they just drew everybody except the major. They're like, oh yeah, the major's gone.
Well, I need to. I don't know who was editing.
The whatever his name was. Will Dennis was the editor. Well, Giuseppe was layouts, so he laid this out.
I know, but like, that's on the editor to catch. Oh, I mean, that's on everybody to catch.
Yeah, but dude, it's for
editor
3 pages.
Is like last line of defense.
Because it was 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, she's in the full frontal, all 5 people. She's in the middle of it.
Editor is like the safety. Deep is the deep and wide is the wide.
They're doing a like superhero pose at the end, like, all right, we're getting out, and she's right there over the shoulder, just with the blue streaked hair, and it's like, hold on, folks, are we really didn't even just go in and just color her out?
Yeah,
it's like, this is where she was supposed to be if she showed up.
I mean, none of you saw that.
Yeah, I called it, and I was like, the whole time I was reading, like, it confused me for like the next 10 minutes. I was like, the fuck, all right, what did I miss? So I had to like jump back and forth.
I didn't notice that.
I had to jump back and forth a few times. It was like, what the fuck happened? Damn. And that's the big. I think that's the biggest like continuity. I don't know. Is that a continuity error or like a whatever you want to call it error? Yeah. It's the biggest error I've ever seen in all the comics we've read.
That's crazy because it's like, from what I understand, an image is like it's creator owned. So whatever your process is your process.
Yeah.
They have someone look over it and they'll give notes.
Yeah.
And basically be like, yes, we'll publish this. Yes, we won't. But stuff like that is not what they're looking for.
No. So I mean, this I would assume this is a finished product when they hand it over to the decider.
Yeah.
The decider probably reads it, or 4 or 5 people read it and go, well, yeah, sure. Yeah. And all they're doing is the story fun? Is some of the art cool? Does this work?
Do anything we don't agree with?
Yeah, it's like, does this work? And then, and I'm sure nobody was like, oh,
but also,
there's a whole continuity error.
When you have Scott Snyder
and Greg Capullo, Charles Soule, not Greg Capullo,
and it's just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I'm sure the two of them.
They probably went.
The two of them probably presented, walked in and said, hey, here's our comic, and everybody went, cool, print.
Yeah,
we want 1,000 copies next week. It's like,
yeah.
We want 10 volumes and we want 1,000 copies in a week. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, other than that, the covers and like just the general marketing are super misleading about this book.
So,
because I could have sworn I saw just pictures of like regular looking soldiers and stuff.
Yeah.
Now,
I mean, there are outside the United States, there are regular looking soldiers.
Yes. But I thought this for the longest time without ever reading anything about it. Just seeing covers, seeing promotional stuff, and always looked like just a regular military book.
Yeah.
And then I saw who wrote it, and I was like, Scott Snyder and Charles Soule.
Batman and Star
Wars. Yeah. I was like, why did I ever expect this to just be a normal military book?
Yeah. It's literally the dude that put Batman back on the comic map.
Yeah.
And Charles Soule, who was tasked.
He never.
You know what I mean.
He's probably had the best Batman run in a while.
And then Charles Soule, who literally was gifted with rewriting Darth Vader for the start of the new Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, you too, have fun. Just But well, because I was like you, I never thought of it really as a military, like full on military book. Because when I was thumbing through, just kind of looking like what could we read one day, I found this and I was like, oh, it's interesting. Yeah. I'm sure it's got to be like a weird Elseworld story.
I thought it was just like a Civil War thing.
That's kind of what I thought. I was like, oh, it's going to be a weird Elseworld story. Like, oh, well, the U.S. somehow blew itself up and wiped itself off the map.
Random, since we brought up Civil War, there's a movie called Civil War coming out. And it's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Yeah, it's basically like, the premise of the movie is that California and Texas seceded and came together, and they're leading a civil war against the regular United States.
Wait, hold on. The two of them are together.
Yeah.
Leading a civil war against the rest of the U.S.
Yes.
Texas and California joined forces.
Yes.
Okay, continue.
And
All right, go ahead.
saw the preview and they said, yes, Texas and California have joined forces. And I was like, I was semi-interested, not really, but semi.
But that's enough.
Because I thought it was going to be just making fun of the South or something.
Yeah.
And then they said Texas and California. I looked at my friend. I was like, them two states would never fucking join forces. No. They hate each other.
Yeah, they would never.
I was like, yeah, let's take the two of the most ideologically opposed states and say they teamed up together.
Yeah.
And one of my friends was like, Texas is getting more blue. I was like, no, Austin.
It's not.
Austin is getting more blue.
Yeah, that's it. It's just
and
Austin.
That's it.
Yeah. You go 40 miles outside of Austin,
yeah.
you are back in literally everybody's laying there aiming guns at Austin like, all right, boss, tell me when.
Yeah.
Tell me when and we'll hit the buttons.
Yeah, no.
We'll send them home.
The entirety of West Texas is still voting red.
Yeah, it's literally the entirety.
Yeah.
The state will not, well, it might flip if other situations happen, but we won't get into that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But it's just like, it's a funny premise. Like, I could see, but it's like, you have got to have an amazing, like, premise to, like, why the fuck would these two countries join forces?
Or two states.
Two states join
forces.
I
saw it and I was just like,
to then fight the rest of the country.
Yeah. And also, like,
who's in it?
There's a lot of, one of the guys from Friday Night Lights is in there. The guy who killed someone in season 2 because of the writer's strike. Yeah. I don't know. It was just, I went and I was like, I saw the beginning of the trailer and I was like, oh, this is just some lefty trying to make fun of the South again.
Kristen Dunst is in it.
Yeah.
Stephen McKinley.
And you're following,
old
like,
black dude.
You're following these, like,
wartime, Nick Offerman's in it.
Yeah. You're following, like, these wartime reporters as, like, the West is going to, like, take the White House.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not like, outside of the two states joining, I mean, what else is there that's, so it's literally just journalists following a war.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like you could do so much, if you wanted those two states to join forces in a war, there's so much more you could do than just, oh, well, these journalists are going to follow a war.
Well, I mean, they get how divided the country is, because, like, the guy who, from Friday Night Lights, like, they wander, them and, like, a family wander up on, basically a guy in military uniform,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, they said, don't shoot, we're American citizens. He said, well, yeah.
We all are.
Which America?
Yeah.
And he didn't have, like, any identifying marks on himself,
Right.
and so they didn't know what the fuck to answer. And that was, like, the big tension point. I was like, this movie's so fucking stupid.
That's the tension point we're going to go with here.
I was like, all right, this is stupid.
Cool. Yeah, that doesn't sound...
Also, maybe,
the idea,
not the time to make that movie.
Yeah, let's not make that movie. It's kind of like making 1,000 pandemic movies during the pandemic.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah, I'm
not going to watch any of them.
We're not going to beat the nail into the ground any harder.
Yeah.
Or let's beat the nail into the ground harder because we just want to drive the point home.
No one watched any of them.
And no one watched them.
Yeah.
That's why no one talks about anything that came out here that time. Like, you start out talking about it, it's like, oh, that kind of sounds like I could see where that good works, and then the more you explain, it's like, no, this is just getting stupider.
No, it's not.
This is just getting worse.
Yeah.
This was not done.
It was.
This is. It did what I like in comics in a first volume of, you get plenty of information.
Yeah.
Here's a real big starter. We're going to give you enough to get you hooked. And then crazy ending. And it's like, well, fuck. All right. I want to.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
It leaves you with a million more questions.
Oh, yeah. So many fucking questions.
So
I have so many.
It is a volume 1. There's a lot going on. You needed to have read it. So hopefully you have.
Yeah. There's no explaining a lot of this.
All 10 people that watch this show now.
Yeah. Thanks, folks.
Yeah.
Really, thank you.
No, actually, thank y'all.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we start off and everybody's just like, oh yeah, it's 30 years and the U.S. has just been completely cut off, and the helicopter flying to a completely walled off West Coast of full-on military cannons.
Everything made sense up to a point. Like, it's like, oh, the U.S. isolated itself for 30 years. Cool. Everybody else kind of formed into these, what is it, the Eurasian,
Eurafrica? Euro-Africa something, and then the Asian Pacific.
Pretty much Alliance Zone or something.
Pretty much Europe and Africa and
Asia,
all of Asia and the Pacific.
Yeah.
Are countries. They call them empires.
Yeah. But there's also a pandemic going on.
There's a virus.
And some random dude from the U.S. says, hey, here's a cure.
Yeah.
So they're trying to get their way in. What
but,
throws me is when we get to, what's his face, the guy who was obsessed with American culture.
The black kid, yeah.
Yeah, and
Ace, they call him Ace.
No, Ace is the guy. Ace is the brother.
Oh,
as in
Kenyatte. Well, Kenyatte is I think, is the black kid's real name.
But I don't. Oh wait, no, they call him.
I'm pretty sure they called him. I thought the journalist called him Ace one time.
Then who's the brother that betrayed everybody?
He's Major. He's Major something.
Oh, I thought he was Ace.
Hang on. I'm getting to the list. But keep talking. Go ahead.
But what really just really threw a wrench into everything, because it was all making sense. It was still pretty interesting. But then they get to this thing where, like, apparently America is, the time is moving faster there or something.
Correct.
And then that just really, I was just like, all right, well then I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, it's like you could sit there and go, okay, I understand, I can figure out, and then it's like the kid was somehow he somehow knew.
Yeah, here's a weird bit of sci-fi.
Yeah, that the Earth was moving faster, or the time dilation was different in the U.S. only.
Yeah.
Of course he was crazy for it.
Yeah. Or they called him crazy for it. He turned out to be right.
But yeah, again, it was like, okay, we can figure out some shit here, and then it's just like, all right, I'm out.
No clue what's going on.
That's multiplying these dumbest shit. This is literally the AEA woman offering him the bottle of whiskey. That was the fucking hilarious. That was absolutely hysterical to me. It's like, yeah, we're gonna bribe this dude with the bottle that we got from a guy that says the last one on Earth, and it's like, oh, they both have one. Yeah. Yay! Look at y'all getting fucked over. Yeah. Or it's also showing how dumb they are, the AEA and the Asian guy, or it's just showing how ignorant, like how self-centered they think they are.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, well, a bottle of whiskey is all it's going to take for you to literally betray everyone else.
Well, if it's American whiskey,
it's some good shit.
Then there ain't very much of it left.
Well, they even say it's like they each say it's the last bottle ever made.
Yeah. So.
Shit, I can't find. The black guy's name, I'm pretty sure Kenyatte or Kenyatta.
That always
Uncle Sam.
Uncle Sam is also freaking me out a little bit.
I don't know who to trust in this.
So is there like multiple of him? Is what they're getting at?
I'm thinking so.
He got some robots.
Either robots or
clones.
We got weird clone situation
or some time shit. I don't know.
Because he keeps. Like, even when he was talking, there was, like, times, even when you meet him for the first time and the crew is running away from these demon evolutioned humans things with land sharks and worms and shrimp and
weird animals.
Ooh. But cars are somehow still working.
Well, they were all getting pulled by animals.
By creatures, too. What got me, though, was they're like, okay, 30 years. But I couldn't figure out when the 30 years happened for the rest of the world. Like at one time they were like, 1990 something when it happened. It's now current 2023. Yeah. But then there was also like, the black guy was like, this car's from 2000 or 2015. Yeah. Like there was a couple of other car things that were early 2000. Like how you wouldn't know that if the world had shut down in the 90s. So when did it shut? There was very small.
There's a lot of future tech from the two empires that were in regular time.
Yes.
So I'm saying it got shut down
now.
Probably now. And then everyone else is 30 years ahead. U.S. is probably like 100 years ahead. I don't know.
I mean, when he takes the coin in, which was a really cool idea, he takes the coin in, and after he does a solution on it, and they ain't been there 3 days.
Yeah.
He's already saying that time's moved too fast. He said if it turns blue, it's been 30 years, 10 years in there and none outside.
It went like green.
And it turned a color he didn't even realize.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, we can't ever leave because
we'll turn
the path isn't, the path is not there anymore. It's moving too quickly for you to track it. And the railroad spike apparently opens.
I thought that was genius.
It's genius, but okay, so we're all hidden, and then we stab the stone, and then all of a sudden it reveals
we had to know where it was.
A full train.
Yeah.
It's weird. Dude, this is some weird shit.
But like the lore behind it of like, oh, this was the last spike that merged the two
That was
coasts.
cool. That was cool.
And I was like, oh, someone actually did their homework on this.
Yeah. It's so fucking weird.
Yeah.
And I have so many more questions. Like the leading dude, he has a blue hand that he sticks into the key box.
Yeah.
Breaks his finger off.
Cuts it off.
Whatever way, opens the box.
Yeah.
A little bit later, he has now more like a reptilian small hand and knives his fingers.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, hold on. Is he just constantly evolving and changing?
And then he can change his horns.
Oh, and he can just rip his horns out. And,
yeah.
I was expecting when he did that, when he pulled them out and put them in, his body was going to change.
Yeah.
That's what I thought was about to happen.
The colors on set.
And it was just colors on set. I was like, damn it. That could have been a cool thing.
But no, it's very interesting, very cool. If you haven't read it, this all probably sounds like gibberish. But
how do you explain this to somebody?
I'm struggling to do it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did have a question. Why the fuck are they climbing the wall? What are they climbing the wall for?
But also, well, I guess they said there's like some type of force field that you can't just jump over the wall.
So they're literally just climbing the wall because
punishment.
the dude just wants them to climb
because
the wall?
they're foreign. And no foreign boots ever touch this stuff.
Okay.
Why the thing ate is
the bison is fucking great.
Yeah.
That we also lost.
Yeah.
That can apparently leap up to the top of the wall.
Can fly.
Yeah. That was something I was waiting on, is we never saw, like, from the ground looking at the wall.
Yeah.
It was always the pilot was on top of the wall looking down, but you still didn't really, like, see the wall going anywhere. Mm-hmm. And I felt like that was a missed...
Yeah.
A missed little detail. It's like all you need is just one shot and...
Someone that watched Game of Thrones there is complaining, but...
Pretty much.
It's like, I want to see the whole wall.
I just want to see the fucking wall.
No.
I mean, I guess you kind of get one when he climbs up to it for the first time.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's just kind of...
Pilot's dead, isn't he?
No.
He stayed behind.
He stayed behind
to
liberate all the prisoners. No, he was a chosen one to come.
Yeah.
Just don't know why they were chosen yet.
Because they went through the train. They're like, well, we need all 60 or whatever, which I don't think included him.
No, he's on the list. When the reporter's saying, "Oh, I found the encoded text," he's the first on the list.
Oh, that's gonna suck whenever they get where they were, and they're like, "Oh wait, we have to go get back in. We have to go back in."
Well, yeah, because even Sam, when he's saying, "Yeah, y'all are the chosen,"
you don't need to be alive, but we need.
Yeah, he says you. Yeah, he's even saying you're the chosen. He never once mentions.
Yeah.
Interesting. I wonder if this Aurora just knew that he would do nothing but liberate the imprisoned.
I don't know.
I also love that he had his foot recently ripped off and he's walking around on the stub like nothing's a problem, like nothing's happened.
Yeah, that shit would hurt.
Dude, it's like he's just walking, like just limping, like wandering around, doing full on fights. I'm like, cool.
Yeah, good
Not
for you.
Sure how you can do that, but impressive.
Yeah, very fun. Go check it out.
It's really actually fun.
Probably end up back on the show at some point.
And the whole Walmart can rocket ship away. Destroyed the rest of his fleet.
Yeah.
Just to get in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's just some wild shit.
Yeah.
Oh, and the leading dude pleaded to Aurora, and he can now walk in.
Yeah.
Train tracks that just magically appear over black nothingness with a train. Dude, this fucking it's so many questions and so many. We already know they're already up to volume 4.
Yeah.
So they've been doing this. Apparently, been out for longer than I thought it was.
Yeah. But if you like it, we'll probably do it again.
Yeah.
Go check it out. We are going to get to our shit list.
Woohoo! 2020.
Yeah.
No wonder they threw pandemic in there.
I know. That makes me a little bit annoyed, but whatever.
Well, Volume 1 came out in July 2020.
Yeah.
So he did the pandemic before that then.
That's weird. Okay. Do you have a shit
Don't want
list?
to go down that conspiracy hole.
Surely they would not pick a medium of comics considering our numbers, but
no.
Shit list.
Not really. I don't really have. I mean, I could go after Sony again for fucking up more superhero movies, or just the fact that please stop making superhero movies for a little while.
Keep making Across the Spider-Verse. Stop making Spider-Man movies without a Spider-Man.
It's like and I can't say much. I have not seen Madam Web.
Not going to.
I'm not going to now.
Yeah.
Literally when Dakota Johnson, the leading role, after the movie comes out, goes, yeah, it was one of the worst experiences I've ever had in a filming set. And I hated every minute of it, and I really don't care what happens. Yeah. They're like, well, you said good things about it before. It's like, it's contractually obligated to not say bad things. Like, I can't just trash the movie.
I also get points for the money it makes.
Yeah, it's like I can't just trash the movie before it comes out. Yeah. It's like I can sit here and be very just blah about it. Just kind of, I'm here. But yeah, even when she posts it out, it's like, yeah, this was fucking awful. It's like, good job, Sony. You're gonna fuck up some more shit. Let's create a Spider-Man universe that doesn't do a fucking thing.
That doesn't have a Spider-Man.
Doesn't have a Spider-Man. We're going to introduce Madam Web.
We're going to introduce all these villains and turn them into anti-heroes. But
because I was looking forward to the Kraven movie, and not now.
Why?
Well, I don't know. It was Kraven the
What
Hunter.
movie have they made that?
Well, it was just like the iconic, like, oh yeah, they got a new movie come out. Let's see if they can make something happen. Now it's like, I don't fucking like.
No. At this point, they are using the IP so it doesn't revert to whoever.
Revert to Marvel or DC, I guess. Disney.
No, Marvel, yeah.
Disney.
My shit list is not Invincible itself, but whoever at Amazon and whoever used to do this with Walking Dead and whoever used to do it with any other show that would take a mid-season break, you're a bunch of fucking idiots.
Oh.
All it does is kill the momentum for your show.
Yeah.
And now, luckily, I have started watching Invincible again. Still fucking good.
I haven't gotten back. I can't. It's just.
Oh, it's fucking amazing.
I know it's amazing, and I'm gonna watch it. But it's just like, okay,
you're gonna give me 4 episodes, kill all momentum. I remember when, like, it came back from whatever stupid break it was on. It wasn't like, oh fuck, like 2 weeks till Invincible's coming back. It was like, oh shit, Invincible came back this week.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about after the break?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, literally, it was like a Wednesday, and somebody was tweeting. I was like, holy shit, there's a new episode of Invincible.
Yeah. Just it was kind of like the.
But Walking Dead used to do it.
Well, TV.
I remember
I
stopped
shows
watching.
Originally.
Yeah.
TV shows would start back at the end of August, 1st of September.
Yeah.
And then they would take either like at Thanksgiving or at Christmas, they would stop until middle to end of January because of holidays. Christmas holiday break. For some reason, let's take 6 weeks off in the middle of in the year, and then come back and do 15 more episodes. It's like, well, why are y'all like? People are home.
Yeah,
like people are on vacation. They're at home.
Here's an idea.
Why would you not just have episodes?
Film it all.
Yeah, and just
then
sit it out.
They can go on vacation.
Yeah,
or wherever. Then you don't have to interrupt shit.
I don't. It's weird, but yes, TV.
But I remember Walking Dead. I legit.
Oh yeah, and always those mid seasons.
I stopped watching
finales
during a mid season break
because they always called them mid season finale.
Yeah,
and they would draw you in, and some big crazy fucking thing.
There's some crazy shit that happened, and then we're gonna rewrite or retcon it the first episode back.
4 weeks later, we're gonna change what we just did.
Turns out Glenn's not dead.
Glenn, he's not dead.
He survived under a dumpster, surrounded by zombies for 3 days.
That was the first nail. That was like, all right, Walking Dead. We're not afraid to kill folks, and we're gonna do this.
You can't be same with Game of Thrones. You can't be the show that's not afraid to kill your characters,
and then
suddenly stop killing your characters.
Suddenly have the biggest fight scene in the last season, and none of the main characters get killed. Well, except for one, except for the dude that loved Daenerys.
Yeah.
But that was like almost like a mercy kill because he was already
getting friend zoned.
Yeah, he was already half dead.
We're gonna have this giant episode 2 where nothing really happens except for we give all these people tender moments because they're about to fucking die.
Yeah,
and then no one dies.
Yeah.
So yeah, just people that kill all momentum for TV shows.
Well, and then when is season 3 coming out? Have they even announced that?
I don't know. I mean, they've announced there is going to be a season 3, but don't know when.
But again, what the fuck was the break for? They were on break for they took a year and a half because they didn't know they were going to get a season 2.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh shit, all right, well, everybody loves this. We need to produce that break. I don't mind because they literally did the first season and we're like, everybody's like, oh, this is we give you season 2 and 3 right now, go. Yeah. So they had to film it.
Well, we know why.
Then why
we know why they went on break. There was a writer's strike and all that shit.
Yeah.
And they were like, we don't have enough content. Instead of showing all of Invincible, pushing back Jack Reacher for a little bit, they were like, we're going to stop Invincible. We're going to show all of Jack Reacher. Yeah, and then 2 months later, we'll give you more Invincible. So, yeah. But no.
Yeah. Mid-season, and again, that's just a product of the new world that we watch TV in. Is streaming is like either you get it week by week, 8 to 12 episodes, or you get everything and you can binge it or just not.
I prefer the week to week because it gives you something to look forward to and talk about.
Yeah, because I've also found that like if you just dump everything, you binge watch it, and then at the end of it, you go,
okay,
fuck, what did I?
I'll talk to someone for this for a week,
2 minutes, and then forget half of what actually happened because you watched it too fast.
Then, but when it's week to week, I'm talking to you about this episode every week.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, that'll do it for this week.
Woohoo!
Next week, going back to Manifest Destiny.
Woohoo!
Which volume is it?
Volume 7.
Volume 7.
This one and one more.
Yep.
Still so much that's got to be done. Either way,
I think they're getting
there.
Yeah. But yes, next week, Manifest Destiny Volume 7.
Woohoo!
Will there also be a quiz?
Yay!
So, we'll see y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye.